August 15th, 1945. Tokyo. The sun rises over a city that no longer exists. Where there were buildings, there is rubble. Where there were factories, there are twisted metal skeletons. Where there were homes, there is ash. At noon, Emperor Hirohito speaks on the radio. His voice crackles through the static. Most Japanese citizens have never heard his voice before. He announces Japan's unconditional surrender. The war is over. Japan has lost. For 15 years, Japan fought, first in China, then across the Pacific, then everywhere. The empire stretched from Manchuria to the Solomon Islands. From Burma to the Gilbert Islands, Japan controlled territory, resources, millions of people. Now, it is all gone. 2.6 million Japanese are dead. Some estimates say 3.1 million. Soldiers, sailors, pilots, civilians, killed in battle, killed in bombings, killed in the atomic blasts. An entire generation gone. But the human cost is only part of the story. The economic cost, that is catastrophic. $56 billion in damages, that is in 1945 dollars. In today's money, it is incalculable. But here is the number that tells you everything. Industrial production, 1941, before the war, intensified. 100% capacity. 1946, 1 year after surrender, 30%. 30, not 70% of what it was, not 50%, 30%. 7 out of every 10 factories are destroyed or non-operational. Agriculture is not much better. 60% of pre-war production. Fields are abandoned, equipment is destroyed, workers are dead or starving. Japan cannot feed itself. For a nation of 70 million people, this is an existential crisis. Only American food shipments prevent nationwide famine. Think about that. The nation that attacked Pearl Harbor is now dependent on American charity to survive. This is not just military defeat. This is total collapse. And it gets worse. All of Japan's colonial possessions are gone. Korea, gone. Taiwan, gone. Manchuria, gone. All the resource-rich territories that fueled Japan's industrial machine, gone. Japan is now just the home islands. Overcrowded, resource-poor, starving. 1946. 1 year after surrender. The Japanese government faces a problem. The economy is destroyed. Production is at 30%. People are starving. The government needs to stabilize things. They need to subsidize food, subsidize fuel, subsidize everything. But there is a problem. They have no money. So they do what desperate governments always do. They print money. Millions of yen, then billions. The printing presses run day and night. They finance subsidies with printed currency. They think this will stabilize the economy. They are wrong. 1946. Wholesale prices increased by 364%. In 1 year, you wake up on January 1st. A bag of rice costs 10 yen. You wake up on December 31st. That same bag of rice costs 46 yen. Your money is worthless. The government tries price controls. They mandate maximum prices for food, for fuel, for basic necessities. It makes things worse. Merchants cannot sell at government-mandated prices, so they stop selling legally. Black markets explode. The official price of rice is 10 yen. The black market price is 50 yen. If you have connections, you eat. If you do not, you starve. 1947, inflation continues. 1948, it accelerates. By 1949, the price level is almost 100 times pre-war levels. 100 times. This is not just inflation. This is hyperinflation. The Japanese standard of living is virtually destroyed. Money means nothing. Savings are wiped out. A family that saved for decades, their life savings can now buy a week of food. Pensions are worthless. Wages are meaningless because by the time you get paid, the money has lost value. Japan is not just economically broken, it is socially broken. People lose faith in institutions, in government, in money itself. 1949. General Douglas MacArthur, Supreme Commander of the Allied occupation, sends a man to fix Japan's economy. His name is Joseph Dodge. Dodge is a Detroit banker. He is not a general, not a politician. He is an accountant, and he sees the problem immediately. The Japanese government is spending money it does not have. It is printing money to finance that spending, and that is causing inflation. The solution is simple. Stop spending money you do not have. Stop printing money. Balance the budget. The Japanese government resists. Balance the budget? That means cutting subsidies. Cutting subsidies means people will suffer. Food prices will rise. Fuel prices will rise. There will be riots. Dodge does not care. He says, you are already suffering. You are suffering because your currency is worthless. Fix the currency and you fix the suffering. The Dodge line, that is what they call it. A comprehensive reform plan. Step 1, balance the budget. No more deficit spending. Step 2, stop printing money. Step 3, end subsidies and price controls. Let the market decide prices. Step 4, stabilize the yen. Set an exchange rate and hold it. 360 yen per dollar. It is painful, but it works. 1950. Inflation stops, not slows, stops. The yen stabilizes, prices stabilize. For the first time in 5 years, Japanese citizens can plan for the future. They can save money without watching it evaporate. They can earn wages that will still have value next week. The hyperinflation crisis is over. But stopping inflation is just the first step. Japan still needs to rebuild. And here is where something remarkable happened. The Japanese government does not try to centrally plan the economy. They do not nationalize industries. They reduce taxes. They encourage savings. They protect property rights. And the Japanese people, they work. The Japanese savings rate becomes 2.7 times higher than the United States. People are not spending. They are saving, investing, building. Families work multiple jobs. Children study relentlessly. There is a national sense of purpose. We lost the war. We will win the peace. The Ministry of International Trade and Industry, MITI, coordinates industrial policy. They identify strategic industries. Steel, shipbuilding, electronics. They do not own these industries, but they guide them. They provide incentives. They facilitate cooperation between companies. It is not pure free market. It is not pure central planning. It is something in between, and it works. 1956. 11 years after surrender, Japan's per capita GDP overtakes its 1940 pre-war level. Read that again. 11 years. From total collapse to pre-war prosperity, industrial production is not at 30% anymore. It is at 100%, then 120%, then more. The recovery period, 1945 to 1956. Average annual growth, 7.1%. 7.1%. For 11 consecutive years. This is not normal. This is miraculous. 1960. Japan is not just recovering. Japan is thriving. Japanese cars start appearing in American showrooms. Japanese electronics start competing with Western brands. Sony, Toyota, Honda. Names that will become global giants. 1964. Tokyo hosts the Summer Olympics. It is a symbolic moment. The world sees modern Tokyo. Clean, prosperous, advanced. This is not the devastated city of 1945. This is a new Japan. 1955 to 1973. Economists call this period the Japanese economic miracle. Industrial production grows at double-digit rates year after year. By the 1970s, Japan is the world's second largest economy, second only to the United States. A nation that was at 30% capacity in 1946 is now an economic superpower. So what do we learn from this? How does a nation go from total collapse to economic miracle in one generation? 3 lessons. Lesson 1, sound money matters. You cannot print your way to prosperity. Japan tried. It led to hyperinflation. It destroyed wealth. It created chaos. Only when they stopped printing money and stabilized, the currency did recovery become possible. Inflation is not just an economic problem. It is a social problem. It destroys trust. It punishes savers. It rewards speculators. Sound money is the foundation of everything else. Lesson 2, culture matters. The Japanese people did not wait for the government to save them. They saved, they worked, they sacrificed. The savings rate was 2.7 times higher than America. That meant capital. Capital meant investment. Investment meant growth. You cannot have an economic miracle without people willing to make it happen. Lesson 3, markets work. After the Dodge Line, Japan did not centrally plan its way to prosperity. They reduced government intervention. They ended price controls. They protected property rights. MITI provided coordination, not control. The government set the stage. But the private sector built the economy. That is the formula. Today, Japan is the world's 3rd largest economy. It has the longest life expectancy in the world. It has some of the world's most advanced technology. It is not perfect. It has problems. Debt, demographics, stagnation. But compared to 1945, it is a miracle. August 15th, 1945, Japan surrendered. The economy collapsed to 30% capacity. 1946 to 1949. Hyperinflation nearly destroyed what was left. Prices rose 364%. 1949. The Dodge Line stopped the bleeding. 1956. Japan's GDP overtook pre-war levels. 1973. Japan became the world's 2nd largest economy. One generation. From ashes to miracle. That is not just economic history. That is human history. Because it proves something important. No matter how far you fall, recovery is possible.